All right, so today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about booking a tour, which is what I am currently in the process of doing for us and Hank Green and the Perfect Strangers and the whole Tour Because Awesome tour. I've done that for our last 3 or 4 tours, pretty much all by myself. It's quite a long process. So I got up kind of early this morning. I'm going to go to work today. But before that, we have a show in Austin. And the weird thing about the show in Austin is that I emailed pretty much every all-ages club that was about the size we needed in Austin, all the promoters, everyone, and none of them wanted to do the show with us. I was actually calling to inquire about renting the Marquesa for an event in May, and I was wondering who I would talk to about that. So we're having a real hard time booking a show in Austin because we tried booking when South by Southwest was going on. So now we're looking at rental venues in Austin. I didn't know my party's extension, so I'm just waiting on the line. I got a response from these people maybe like 3 weeks ago saying that they weren't sure about their lease anymore, but to contact them at the beginning of April. So it's March 31st. I'm getting in like a day early, but we'll see. You know, sometimes these venues are just all booked up in a town, and so we have to try and rent one. We did in Dallas, and now we're going to try to in Austin as well, since there's only 6 weeks till we play there. I'm on hold. Sure. My name is Sam Grant. All right, thank you. But I've contacted maybe 20 different venues in Austin so far, including rental venues, and this seems to be the most promising lead, which isn't even very promising, so we'll see.
Will we get a show in Austin?
Well,
we'll
yeah.
Never know.
Of course, we got to play in Austin. What we ended up doing is independently renting a venue, setting up a ticket link ourselves. So we have the room and everything now, but now I have to find some sound and lighting. And the tour is about 2.5 weeks from starting, so I'm going to email some people on the bus. I kind of like riding the bus to work because it lets me do some of that stuff. Got to kind of find a time to do that in between everything else sometimes. So for me today, that's going to be the bus.
Don't change the words, I'll just sing them back to life and remind you of me.
So the thing about booking our particular bands is that it's actually really, really hard. We do have a certain popularity. I mean, you'd think it'd be easy. Hank is super popular, fairly famous guy. We do all ride on our own. Harry and the Potters, Andrew Hong, Rob Scallon. You'd think venues would just jump at the chance because they know a lot of people are going to come, but they don't. So basically it's a game of having to first get the attention of whoever, promotion company or venue that you're trying to get your show at. And then it's a matter of convincing them that you're actually going to bring people out. You can do stuff like, we're fortunate because we have a bit of tour history now, what they call it. So we can say, hey, look, all these other cities, we've done well, let's say on a Wednesday night. But that still doesn't mean that they've heard of you. We operate sort of outside the circles of, mainstream music. We're not on Pitchfork. There's not an article about us in Spin. So these venues really have no idea who we are. So it's just about really like convincing them, hey, we are going to bring this many people on this night, and there are a lot of other bands trying to convince them of that as well. But before you can worry about that, you have to set up some dates for the tour, which is kind of hard with everyone involved, a lot of busy YouTube people with jobs. So you narrow down a set of dates, and then you make kind of a list. So we wanted to start somewhere in the Midwest. Really wanted to go to Texas because we hadn't been there with Tour Because Awesome. And then end up in San Francisco because we really like to play in San Francisco. So it's a really large round trip, something like 6,000 miles for us. Try to set it up where there are, no more than like an 8-hour drive between shows and you want to play every night. So once you have that set up, you start contacting people in different towns. The way I do it, I reference Indie on the Move is a great site for it, or I look up venues in towns. Another hard thing about this tour is all the shows have to be all ages, which isn't the easiest thing because the venues don't profit as much without alcohol sales. Sometimes the dates don't work out and you end up driving farther than you want, or backtracking a little bit, or not getting quite the city you wanted. But in the end, it usually works out. Sometimes I end up sending as many as 100 emails back and forth once I actually have someone interested in the show. And, it's just a really long, lengthy process. So I'm back from work now, and nothing has come through via sound and lighting rental emails that I've sent. But, I'll just keep pushing, and I'm sure we'll make something happen like we do for all the other dates. And in the end, totally worth all the hard work, all the emailing, any kind of stress, because at the end of it all, we get to go on tour, and frankly, that's amazing.